This place is just crawling with crocodiles.
He is terrified of crocodiles. I touched it. I feel like the Dominican Dora the Explorer, but wow. Pretty cool, guys. Let's keep looking.
Hey guys!
Welcome back to another episode and to another beautiful anchorage here in Mexico. Today we are anchored out in Matanchen and we have been working all week. It's finally the weekend, so you know what that means. Exploring time.
Yeah, we got to get our exploring in today because we are about to take off and head north to Mazatlan. So today we're going to actually go check out the neighboring town of San Blas. We are anchored here in Matanchen, even though there is an anchorage in San Blas, because here in Matanchen we're a little more protected from the jejenes and mosquitoes. So today we're going to grab a cab, go over to San Blas and see what it's all about.
Yep, it's supposed to have lots of colonial architecture and rich history and really cool stories from times ago. So we are really excited to go check it out. So let's pack up our gear and let's go.
Let's do it.
Before taking off on our adventure, Rigby had an adventure she needed of her own. Braving the waves, breaking onto the shore without flipping the dinghy over is usually a great way to get your adrenaline rush first thing in the morning.
We take Rigby to the bathroom every morning and evening to the beach, and this place in San Blas we have noticed is just crawling with crocodiles here on the beach. So every morning that I come out here and I take her walking, this is what I see. We've got another track leading right into the grass. You can see this footprint. There's my hand for a comparison. So they got some pretty big feet. This one's heading out to the ocean. Oh, look at that track. You can see the scales or the texture of the skin. You can see the texture of that crocodile's skin in these footprints as he heads out into the ocean. That is spooky. You are not going to find me going up into the mangroves to find this crocodile's nest, because I am spooked with crocodiles. I just don't like them. I think they're creepy. I don't like that they're swimming in the ocean where Rigby and I are swimming and beaching the dinghy every day. I don't like them. So you're gonna get to see the trails, but you are not gonna get to see the crocs because I'm not going after them.
Before we leave on our excursion, I want to address a question that's been asked to us many times, and that is, what about Rigby? Where does Rigby go? Where do we put her when we go on these excursions? Why don't you take her with you? Well, we do take her with us mostly everywhere we go, but whenever we go somewhere that's like a faraway place, we are anchored out in the ocean, and we usually have to take a cab or some sort of mode of transportation to get to that place. And taxi drivers and bus drivers are not too keen on having a salty, wet, dirty dog in their car unless it's truly an emergency. So we keep Rigby in her bedroom, our bedroom. It is the coolest room on the boat. We have tons of ventilation. We've got a little fan down here for her. We got everything. She's ready to go. And I entice her with this bone because even though it is comfortable for her, she doesn't like to not go with us. Look at that depressed thing. She already knows. You already know that we're going somewhere. So I put her bone here. Then she's got her toys. She also has a gel mat, a cooling pad, that when she sits and lays on it, the body heat triggers it, so she stays nice and cool. She's got fresh water, and here's that little fan I was telling you guys about. So for those of you who are worried, please do not worry. We love this dog more than anything in this world, and we would never put her in a situation that would hurt her.
Okay, so here's just a pro tip for anybody who's a cruiser and watches our channel. I know a lot of people that watch the channel, you come from all walks of life, but if you are a cruiser and you are planning on coming to this area, you can leave your dinghy pretty much anywhere, but it's just kind of always a recommended thing anywhere you go in the world to find a place you trust and find some people that you like and have somebody keep an eye on it, especially if you're leaving for a long time. And we did just that. We found a really nice little restaurant here. I'm gonna show you guys the picture of it, the name of it, so that you guys know. It's a wonderful family. We've gotten to know them while we've been here, and he lets us just park our dinghy right up in front of his stand, and he watches it all day, and all he asks of you is to buy a beer or a michelada or whatever you want at the end of the day. So really, really hospitable. We got lucky. We got a taxi as soon as we got out onto the road. Normally we have to walk pretty far, and we just got one. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien.
Although Kurt was successful at dodging crocs on the beach, our taxi driver was determined to show him one up close and personal against his will.
They seem to love their crocodiles here, and here in San Blas they actually have a tour. You can get on a panga and go up the river, and they'll show you crocodiles in a natural habitat. They've got colorful crocodiles here on the wall. They've got canoes with crocodiles. They love their crocodiles here. Like I said, they can have them.
Yeah, he is terrified of crocodiles. I think he said so a little bit earlier this morning, but really guys, here's a fun fact of our fearless captain. The one of the things that it's a no-go are crocs. So.
I've seen too many of them swimming around here, swimming in the marina, swimming everywhere. I just don't like them, and so yeah, we wanted to let you know that if you like crocodiles, you can see them here, but we're gonna skip it.
Totally worth it. It's a tour that's like world famous. We're not doing that tour today.
Doing it.
Our first stop of our excursion starts in La Plaza de San Blas. This is the main town square, and it is intertwined with new and old. There is literally construction happening behind us. They're remodeling the whole town square, and we've got a beautiful church right behind us. It's called Parroquia de San Blas. Looks like it's still under construction, forever under construction. And right next to it, we've got the old church, which is the church that the famous poet, writer Henry Longfellow wrote, The Bells of San Blas, very famous poem. That right there is the church that he wrote that poem about, The Bells of San Blas. Let's get a closer look at it while we're here. Okay, I can't go in there because they're actually remodeling in there. There's a bunch of cement and stuff, but I have this like thing where I have to touch things, especially things that say like do not touch. I'll probably get in a lot of trouble in the comments below, but I mean, whatever. So I'm gonna touch it. It says historical monument. Here I go. I touched it. Even though this town is pretty small, it's actually packed in a bunch of things to see. And the easiest way to get around is through bicycles. You see people all over the place and there's bicycles. There's a guy right behind me who just passed by on a bicycle. And I read online that we can rent a bicycle here in the plaza, which is why we started here. But I've asked around all these little shops, and it looks like there used to be a bike rental place behind me, but it no longer exists. And we have to make the most of our day. And as much as I hate not taking advantage of being on land and walking and doing a bicycle riding, where we're going is actually quite far, and it'll take all day to walk. So we got to get a cab, but let's go check out some cool stuff. I look like a super traveling nerd right now. I've got my backpack and my sneaks. I feel like the Dominican Dora the Explorer.
Grab your backpack! Let's go! Jump in! Vámonos!
But anyways, we are here at our first historic ruin. It is the Temple of Our Lady of the Rosary, built back in 1768. Like most Spanish colonial harbor towns, the first thing they do is build a church, and then the next thing they do is build a cemetery. So when people die, there's somewhere to bury them, and then they can pray about it. And that's what we have back here. This whole area was intended to be a harbor town. They were gonna build fantastic things, never got to it. Who knows what happened? They all moved to California, that's for sure, but it didn't get done. So we are here to check out this whole site. It's full of awesomeness, and this is one of the first stops. And just peeking in there, you guys, it looks epic. Let's go and check it out. Okay guys, we are at stop number 2 of our historic tour. We are in the San Blas Fort, which is El Fuerte de la Contaduría in Spanish. Just because I can speak it doesn't mean that I can say it. These words are quite hard to pronounce. Built back in 1760, it was used as a naval base, and it wasn't just built for decoration. They actually did use it several times. One time when the Mexicans were against the Spaniards trying to get their independence, and another time when the United States and Mexico were fighting with each other over states and things like that. So we are gonna go check it out.
Back in the day, San Blas was considered the most important port in Mexico, which at the time was called Nueva España. Because of this, they needed some serious protection from invaders. By taking some time to explore these grounds, one could clearly see that this fort did not mess around.
Alright, so I really got to touch this rock because according to the tour guide who walks around here just answering general questions, this rock is like 2,500 years old, so boop, just touched it. But anyways, you can see, I think, hopefully you can, there's like some swirls and some interesting little marks here, and they represent, from the people who were here long ago, this was their Google Maps. And this is how they were able to kind of figure where things were by chiseling into the rock. So these swirls represent rivers, newly rivers that have been discovered, or rivers that are around the area. And then right down here, it is said to believe that they would make these carvings like this to represent death. So when somebody would die, you know, within their village or whatever, they'd carve these into the rocks to show how many people died and all that stuff too. So it's pretty cool. I feel like every time I say pretty cool, I like sound nerdy. I'm like, it's pretty cool, guys. Let's keep looking. So let's keep looking. Well, that was educational and beautiful.
Yeah.
And really nice. But it is way past lunchtime. We still haven't eaten anything, so we're gonna go back into town and go check out the food scene over there. And we are also trying to make it to El Muelle de San Blas, which is just literally translated into the dock, the San Blas pier or the San Blas dock. But there's supposed to be some fun historical stuff down there too. So we're gonna take advantage that the sun is still bright and go and check it out. Sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. There are 2 Muelle de San Blases here in San Blas. There is one that is world famous for a song that a band, Maná, made about the dock. And then there's some other random one that has San Blas on it and is also a dock. And I told the guy that I wanted to go to the one that is world famous, and the taxi guy brought us here. But the good news is, it has been a while since you guys have seen a dance break, so hit it, DJ. apologize publicly to our taxi man because I spoke too soon. This is the dog. This is the Muelle de San Blas. I'm not sure if it's the original one, but it definitely is, because the legend has it that there was a beautiful woman who was waiting for her fisherman, love of her life, to come back, and she stood at the dock waiting for him, and he never came back. So sad. But she has a really cool statue dedicated to her on this dock, and that's it. So we found it. Sorry, taxi man.
My San Blas, you're mine to leave me behind. I'm one of a kind. I have another guy.
No.
What are we getting?
What are we getting? We are getting a famous drink here in San Blas called Tetuino, and the only reason I know it exists is because the annoying music you hear behind me was screaming at me, Tetuino, ice cold Tetuino, come and get your Tetuino here, and I gotta try it. So it's a refreshing drink with a little bit of lime and a bunch of sugar and corn. So basically all of the things they tell you in the United States to eliminate, I am drinking it in the liquid form in a cup, and it's interesting and very good. So ignoring the very annoying music behind us, what is it? How does it taste?
It's different. I imagine this is an acquired taste. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's pretty sweet, but it is a fermented drink, so it's a little bit vinegary as well. So yeah, it's kind of got a vinegar, corn, lime, sweet taste. So it's a sweet and sour drink, but not bad. We are exhausted. I don't want to criticize Linda's research too much, but when we went out to that dock, that muelle, it was miles out of the way, and I wondered, how are we going to get back? I figured she knew what she was doing, but no, there were no taxis. There was nothing coming to get us, so we just ended up walking miles in the heat. But we found our first restaurant, and it happens to be a restaurant that was highly recommended. So we're going to stop here, get some energy, get some food, and then get them to call us a cab.
We were very tired earlier when we got here to tell you guys actually where we were, but now that we've had a chance to have a beer, we can tell you guys where we are. We are in a place called Mr. Camarón, and we actually found out about this place because the port captain, when we checked in here, recommended for us to come here. She said best place. So when we were driving up to the dock to go check out El Muelle, Kurt caught his eye that there was a restaurant that was full of people, and it was actually this place. So on the way back, we decided to stop here and check out this food, y'all.
When you're at Mr. Camarón, you got to get some Camarón. So you got 2 plates of shrimp, lots of bread, lots of salad, potatoes. It's going to do the trick. Okay, we're almost back to the boat, but we've got one last thing we have to do. On this little street, Camino, on the way to the boat, there's all kinds of little stands that sell banana bread. And so we are going to try one out because this place is supposed to be famous for their banana bread. That's why you see every stand here says pan de plátano, pan de plátano. So we're gonna go try some out. I'm hoping it's nice and warm and tasty.
Every stand also says el original or el mejor, which means the original and the best. So they were all here at the same time, and I guess they all share the same recipe. They're all the best. But let's go see if it really is el mejor, the one we're going to. Okay, uno.
Chocolate natural.
Oh, nuez, chocolate natural. Nuez. It is hot.
Trying to beat the mosquitoes?
Yeah, man, this is like, look, the swamps. Literal swamps. This whole area is mangroves and swamps. Why there's friggin' crocodiles everywhere, but yeah, and I can see them everywhere. They're hovering me, so vámonos, rápido! And just like that, party's over. We are back on board, tidying, picking things up. I just got done cleaning the dishes that we had collected from this morning, and I'm picking up inside, Kurt's scrubbing on the outside. Got a lot of work to do to get this boat ready to pick up anchor tomorrow, so we will see you guys tomorrow morning.
We managed to escape the crocodiles of San Blas by anchoring out as far as we could, but there were other beasts that made their way to us in the dark of the night.
Oh my gosh, you guys. All of this that you see are no-see-ums. Jejenes. Like, what?
Do you see this all over our cushions? This is not sand. Yes, these cushions are dirty, but that is not sand. Those are jejenes and mosquitoes. And they are all over the boat today because last night we had a bit of a swarm. I don't know what happened. We've been doing pretty good here, and we haven't had too many of the jejenes attack us at night, but last night was brutal. They came in a swarm, so we were all right. We locked ourselves into the boat. It was a little bit warm, but we stayed safe and stayed out of it. But yeah, opening up and seeing the carnage today, there's jejenes all over the boat. So we have entered Dingayville. We are in Zika Town over here. There's all kinds of nasty insects that are attacking us. We got to get out of here. All right, guys, we have had a great week here at San Blas and Ensenada Montenchin, but it is time to get out of here. We got to keep moving north. We're heading to Mazatlan because we've already got some tropical activity brewing up down south. So
already.
We got to keep moving north as quickly as we can. But I hope you liked this week's episode. Please leave us a comment below what you thought about it.
Yeah, make sure you guys give it a huge thumbs up if you loved it. And if it's your first time here, hit subscribe. If it's your 40th time here and you're like, where's that subscribe button?
Hit it.
Hit it.
Find
It's
it.
right. Find it and hit it.
Go visit our Patreon page. We want to thank all of our patrons for supporting us, and go take a look at it, see what you think. Maybe you'd like to support us too.
Yep, have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.